Hey there, welcome to Jen's Kitchen. This evening we are marinating chicken thighs for tomorrow's grilling. It's better that way because then the flavor sets in overnight and just really makes it awesome. So I've already cut up the onion and I'm working on the celery, which if you see this here, this stuff is great to keep for soups later. So just baggy it up, you can throw it in the fridge, put it in the freezer and it'll last longer. I have already made our seasoning mix, which consists of lemon pepper seasoning and granulated garlic. I've added oil. Usually I would do butter, but we're low on butter, so I'm doing oil this time. I will eventually add the chicken broth. That way it has extra liquid so that it can help soak up all the seasonings and everything else that's there. I'm adding the celery because, well, one, it's wilting. I'll tell you this too. It will add a little bit of extra flavor, kind of like a celery salt. And this honestly is a low sodium recipe. The lemon pepper seasoning has some salt in it, but I try to do low sodium because of high blood pressure issues. So the celery can also act as like the celery salt that some people would use in flavoring things. And a good tip also to learn is if you're just going to eat the celery by itself, it's best to do it like this. You're going to pull it back and get the strings out. That way when you go to bite into it, you don't have that string in your teeth. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these up to put and add into it. Now when I'm doing a salad, I might split them down the center before chopping them up. For example, I'll go ahead and do this one. And I just like to take those out because it really does make a difference almost no matter what if you're eating soup or anything. So if you're doing a salad, I do it like that. That way you don't have big chunks in your salad and makes it a little bit easier and spread out. Smaller pieces. Don't use as much. So probably about almost have enough. I might cut up a little bit more. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when I started, I patted the chicken dry. It's a good technique to use. That way the flavor that the chicken comes in the package is definitely different than the flavor that you're wanting to produce. So, there we go. Add just a few more there that I have left. What you have left over of strings or anything that may already be wilted is good for compost if you're definitely into gardening, or if you have chickens or livestock animals that love to eat those veggies. It's very good to just make a compost pile for them and give that to them later. So anyhow, we're going to get these bigger pieces chopped up here. Just snap them in half. Move the celery out of the way. And I'm going to add my mixture. Now, how much I added in this? The lemon pepper seasoning, oh, I would say probably a tablespoon and a half at least. And as far as the granulated garlic, I'm a good fan of garlic. I don't mind it, but too much for me is too much. So for me, it may be a teaspoon of this that I added. And the oil would at least be 2 to 3 tablespoons. So we're going to go ahead and add this in here. Now, I just made this up on a whim. I wasn't sure what to do, and I know lemon pepper is very famous with cooking chicken. So that's why I decided to go with that. Plus garlic is very good for you too, and it just adds an extra flavor. So let me finish putting this in here. We'll get it spread around a little bit. My hands are clean. So looks like I might need to add a little bit of extra oil. Not too much. Okay. Don't worry, I sanitize anything and the area after I'm done. So let's get the vegetables mixed in here, and the seasonings rubbed in to the chickens. You can even lift the chicken up to make sure you got some vegetables down there and seasoning underneath, like that. It's gonna be good. Good thing to note is the skin when you go to cook it on the grill it mostly first just to give it that flavor and all. I'm going to wash my hands now before I grab that chicken broth. I have all the stuff all over my hands. Oil, slippery. There we go. Hot water is good. Check out these cool towels. I got a Tractor. I always say Tractor Supply. Atwoods. So, and I might record some stuff about Jen's hens later and post that, because we also raise chickens and we love the eggs. So go ahead and pour some of this in here. Fill it up nicely. There we go. After that, you can use cling wrap, or foil, whichever you prefer. I might go ahead and use cling wrap to make sure that it's really nice and solid and all the flavor and everything stays in here. So maybe tune in tomorrow for when we grill these. Have a great day.